at Wawa, and I just got back to the house. So I saw something in there that disturbed me, and I was at my favorite one on Morton Avenue, which is my favorite one. They always treat me with respect, and they make my pumpkin spice Lulu perfect. So while I'm in there, and my friend, he goes there too, and he went there earlier in the day. They treated him with respect. Okay, now this is what he does, is he shows his veterans ID from the VA. Okay, now this is what I think is correct. And I know this is going to sound like a venting, hey, to my one viewer. So Wawa is having like I said, a veterans appreciation, giving veterans a free coffee today. So he'll show his veterans ID, which is correct to do. So I'm not the only one noticing these two women in there looking around all random and everything. And one of them has a thrift store army jacket on. Thrift store. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You have street clothes on and you're wearing a thrift store army jacket. That does not mean you are military. That does. No. I know sometimes you guys have seen me wear a Marine shirt with the sleeves cut off, but that's representing my child because I'm proud of him. He could have been running the streets, but I put my foot down. And wouldn't let him do it. And he became a Marine. He became a better person. But when I see somebody pretending to be military personnel, it pisses me off. Don't pretend to be somebody you're not. Never pretend. Be your actual self. Be yourself. Inspire. You can always inspire, is what I should say. You can always inspire other people by only being yourself. But pretending to be somebody that you aren't is wrong in every possible freaking way. Oh my God. I was not the only one watching them. So while I was looking for like something healthy to munch on, because like at a certain time in the night, I saw time before Wonder Woman comes on. Yes, I do watch that. It's a guilty pleasure. And then I wait for Batman to come on, and then I wait for Star Trek, and then Battlestar Galactica. Then that's my Saturday thing. Yeah, I skipped something in there. I no longer watch the other guy. In between all that, I don't. And anyway, so I find that Svengooly's boring lately. So I really think people should be respectful of our military personnel. You should be respectful of our veterans because they are out there to protect us. Even our men and women in uniform that are on the streets every day to protect us from harm, they deserve respect. They do. They deserve respect. I can say, yes, I've come across bad police officers myself. Yes, I have. In the little hick town that I used to live in the state of Oregon, one decided she had the right to walk into my apartment on her own without announcing herself. No, you didn't, because I called your desk sergeant. She got written up. And another couple of officers in that little hick town thought that they had the right to do whatever, then they got written up. And the other officers backed me up, and that little hick town just went to shit when I left. When you have the one person that does right by the law. And not pretending and doing everything right. And so I'm not going to say I haven't come across bad police officers, because myself, yes, I have. But there are actually good police officers out there. I've helped the good ones. I've helped a lot of good ones in Hermiston, Oregon. I've helped the good ones in Philadelphia, right here in Pennsylvania. Not in Texas, though. I haven't really come across any law enforcement in Texas that needed any help. Let's see. No, not really. Really, but, hey, I mean, I've lived in different places growing up, but, hey, military housing in Long Beach, California. I mean, there was times where we had to be on lockdown, and our military police, they're military. They were very, very kind to us. So, see, that's military personnel. But, they weren't playing good guy, bad guy when they found, and I was very respectful to them, when they found bits and pieces of a missing military personnel. And I just felt really bad, because that morning I woke up and I'm like, there's something wrong. And then we got a knock at the door, and they were like, stay inside. We need to check your trash cans. And I mean, there was nothing in ours, but like, what's going on? And we need to respect people. People need to be more respectful. I think that's what's wrong with a lot of people. I don't want to make this vlog weird and everything. That maybe what's wrong with a lot of people out there is they don't have a lot of respect for other people, because they don't know how to have self-respect. You know what I mean? They don't know how to have self-respect. How to respect yourself, and instead of bullying or harming, because what are you treated like at home? And then you're going to take that out on other people, because okay, and take it from me, I was the kid that was bullied. I was never respected. But here's the thing. I never disrespected other people. I was always the person that always made sure that I worked for what I had, took that little bit of what I had and gave to other people. When I was a kid, I was trained the best I could to stay out of trouble and took the punishment for the other kids I was raised with. The punishment for the other kids I was raised with. You may not be able to see that scar very good, but trust me, it's been there since the age of 17. Yeah, there we go. Actually goes from where the earring hole is down to the very end of my earlobe. And that happened when I was 17. And I'm 43 now. And I broke the person's nose for doing that. That was the last time that person laid their hand on me. So you see, you can be treated bad. You can be treated bad, but not turn out as a bad person. Excuse me, pumpkin spice latte is talking. I apologize for that. See, now that's something I can't apologize for, is a behavior of belching. See, that's manners. But these people's conduct inside of Wawa, and they were being watched by management and just walked out the back door. I would like to see management, and I love them there. I would like to, don't stop demonetizing me. I would like to see management be able to do something else, and be able to do something a little bit better than just watch people walk out with your product. Be able to do something a little bit better than I'm walking in there and I feel like I'm the Wawa police. I walk in there and I feel like I'm the freaking Wawa police lately. I love you guys, but I feel like I'm the Wawa police. I catch kids stealing sodas. I catch them stealing candy. I catch them stealing milkshakes. I catch them, oh my gosh, I catch them stealing all sorts of stuff. And I end up getting discounts on what I'm buying. Okay, that's nice. I don't mind. Okay, but I feel like the Wawa police when I'm in there. But what I would like to see better in the stores is when you see somebody stealing, is you need to have management literally take that person into the office, hold them like you would in a retail, and have the police show up. You have it on camera, have the police show up, take them away. Take them away. They committed a crime. They committed theft. It would cut down. I'm sorry for the lip smacky thing. I'm trying to stop. I'm finding that this part of my tongue, I may have accidentally bit down on it last night. And it has like a little, I don't know, like a little gash in it. And I find that when I wake up in the morning, my tongue is a little dry. So sorry, maybe that's why it's happening. And I find that I'm having to drink a lot of liquid lately. So maybe that's why that's happening. So, but I really like, getting back to the subject at hand, I really find that it's very disrespectful for people to try to impersonate our veterans or our military personnel. Now, when I was a recruit for the Army National Guard Armored Tank Division, and I walked into an Army surplus store, I looked on the gear that they had there, from staff sergeants, people, and I'm like, staff sergeant, and I'm like, I went and I looked, and I'm like, staff sergeant, you got to get these guys to go down there and start taking your patches and your name tags off of everything. And he's like, excuse? And I'm telling him, look, I'm just saying, and this was after 9/11, I'm like, look, our country isn't even settled yet after what happened. And I'm like, this is 2002. I'm like, there's name tags and unit patches. Unit patches on these uniforms that need to be removed. That need to be removed. For security, not. Tell me if I'm wrong. But for security purposes, I think if military personnel is going to, there they go with their stupid crap again. If military personnel is going to take their unit clothing to a surplus store, remove all patches for security purposes. I find that it may violate security. It's a thought. It's just a thought, because you never know who may buy it and try to impersonate. This is just a thought. This is just a thought. It's just a thought. And it may actually be a really good thought for people to think about. Remove those unit patches and names, because you never know who may be buying them. I mean, it's a collectible thing that you could put in a frame, but for security purposes, I don't think people should be wearing them. Not really. Not really. I put it in a shadow box frame and hang it on your wall. That's cool by itself. It's a collector's item. But not on your person. So that's just my thought after I'd seen that, like, and then they were just like hurrying up out the door, like, oh, let's hurry before they get us. Like, are you kidding me? Total impersonation. And you weren't just grabbing one cup, you grabbed 4, and you were impersonating some, a military veteran. It's like, jeez. I find that to be very disrespectful to our men and women in uniform, that not only are missing limbs, they're in recovery, they have post-traumatic stress syndrome. They have post-traumatic stress syndrome. The shit that they have seen, the stories that I have heard. Oh my gosh, my one friend that I called Tank, I haven't heard from him in a while, but the stories that I've heard from him, he told me, I'm waiting for the strip to be gone. He told me, and he's Army, he told me that this 19-year-old new recruit stepped out in the line of fire and the kid's brain ended up on his face. The stories that I've heard of post-traumatic stress syndrome. And Tank didn't talk to anybody. That's his name. His nickname is Tank. I won't give his real name. But I was Tank to talk to about his trauma that he endured in the Army. And all of a sudden, veterans started talking to me. It's like on the bus, I started meeting a lot of people that just all of a sudden, boom, for no reason, you know, started talking to me. And they're like, wow, for some reason, I don't know, I felt compelled to talk to you. And I'm sorry, I just like started talking your ear off. This is my stop. I now feel like I don't need to do what I was going to do. And thank you for letting me talk to you. I'm just going to go to the VA now. I'm like, you do that. You do that. I'm glad you feel better. That's why I feel it's very important to treat our men and women in uniform with much respect, with very much respect. Like I said, if it wasn't for my spinal injury, I would have been inside of a tank wearing the Army National Guard Armored Tank Division uniform. Very much wearing an Army uniform is what I should say. That's a tactical uniform for basically being your cavalry, your cavalry uniform. You know, hey, here comes the cavalry. But very much when people disrespect our men and women in uniform, they disrespect this country. That's just something, I don't know, maybe this is a vent, and I hate to do that. I really, and I don't like using the word hate, sorry about that. You know, I just find that very disrespectful, you know, like Adam Sandoval, he does his mission thank you. I very much appreciate that. And I'll tell you what, when I'm able to put in my child's name for the mission thank you, because he very much deserves a bike. I'm not saying his name for security purposes because of everything he's been put through. Again, somebody else, you know, that has seen a lot. And very much would deserve one of those bikes. He used to have a Harley. He used to have a Harley. Really beautiful, beautiful Harley. Oh my gosh, that thing was beautiful. He would so much deserve a brand new one. So much deserve it. So as soon as I get my laptop, I'm so putting in for next year for him to hopefully be able to get one. I know it's like you have to put in this essay. I Mexican, but hey, that's just a little joke. But I have Mexican friends. Like I said, I have friends from around the world. I know I meant to cut this shorter than 25 or 26 minutes, but you know, hey, like I said, we need to give respect to our men and women in uniform. We can do that in many ways. If you see that there's a homeless veteran on the street, let me tell you that there are actually ways that the VA, they don't necessarily need their DD-214. Yes, it is pronunciated that way, and I know that sounds a bit long. Their DD-214, now that's two Ds, the DD-214. They don't necessarily need that. All they really need to know is their first and last, maybe even their middle name, their birth date, and their social security number. Yes. And if they're honorable discharge. Now, if you find a homeless veteran with all of that, okay, you contact your local VA. They can get them a free ride. Yes, they do have free rides for homeless veterans. You tell them where this homeless veteran is located. Tell the homeless veteran, don't be afraid. There are programs through HUD to get them off the street. They don't pay for it. No, it is free. Absolutely free. Absolutely free. What they do is they check them out physically, mentally. They give them their evaluations. They give them their stuff back. Yes, they get it back. They help them get their disability. Yes, so that they will get money. Because it also depends on if they will be under the poverty level. Yes, they will end up needing assistance with food and other things. Of course, they'll get public assistance. There are these programs to help our veterans make this aware. So maybe this is what this vlog has turned into. Geez, I'm giving you information for this, for our veterans. Maybe this is another way to give another thank you to our veterans and the homeless ones out there. But there are the HUD program for our veterans. Myself called Phoenix, Arizona to get a military veteran off the street in Apache Junction, Arizona, because John McCain wouldn't lift a damn finger to help him. He called his office and John McCain said no. John McCain's a piece of shit. Sorry that came off negative, but John McCain wouldn't lift a finger. He wouldn't lift a pinky finger to help a veteran. It took a civilian to help a veteran. I have people. Don't worry about it. I have the right people to back me up. I made this phone call. Then I called this veteran. So I have two phones. I'm like, calling the veteran. I'm like, put your revolver in your glove box. Lock it up. I have somebody coming to pick you up tomorrow. And he's like, what? So I'm like, hold on a minute. So I have the other line. I'm like, I told him to put his revolver away. And he's like, his what? I'm like, don't worry. He's not going to shoot you. I'm like, so it's cool. So I put the veteran on the other ear. And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, he's going to pick you up and your wife tomorrow. He's bringing food and water for you, your wife, and your pets. I'm like, expect him at, and I'm like, hold on a minute, I'll see what time. So I get back to the other guy, and I'm like, give me an estimated time, a good ETA. So he's like, okay. And I'm like, okay, so this is what time he'll be there. Expect him. I'm like, where are you located at? And he's like, and I'm like, you tell me. So he told me, and I told the guy, and he's like, oh, okay, I know where that is. Click. Next day, bam. Dude was there. Picked up this veteran and his wife. They got housing that day. Their truck was towed from Apache Junction, Arizona for free by the VA to their brand new apartment. Don't think that you cannot help a veteran, even if they're a homeless veteran. By placing a phone call and getting them some help. Because there are several ways of making sure that they can get help. Look, even if there's veterans that say, oh, well, I have this thing where I can't get help until so many years. Well, when the so many years is over, then it's back to the VA system because of conduct. There are certain veterans that, due to conduct code, they have to wait like 5 to 7 years before the conduct code thing passes. Then they can go back to the VA. Excuse me, the Lou is talking again. And then yes, again, they can get help. But I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I can smell my neighbor. Which I'm really surprised he's being quiet. I'll explain that later. He was chewed out by his daughter. No, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, and I put my tissues over there. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me again, I gotta put my nose this way. Didn't want you to see that. Anyway, don't ever think there isn't a way that we can always step up and help our veterans in any kind of way. When the Bush Jr. administration, even the Bush administration came along, they messed up a lot of things for our veterans. Well, so did Obama. We're not going to really go into that. Not really. The video you saw earlier when I had my friend tell you about the ship he was on, he didn't get all of his benefits back. And on his DD-214, it says that the Navy gave him multiple personality disorder. It says that the Navy gave him multiple personality disorder, which means that the military is, well, liable for the mental problem that they gave him. Which means they should have been paying him. But you know who took that money away? Bush. Know who didn't give it back? Obama. You know how that should have worked out the right way? But it didn't. Our veterans aren't taken care of properly, and they should be. So I say, let's make sure that our veterans are treated. Hold on. Waiting for the red line to go away. Let's make sure that our veterans are treated properly. Sorry, I can smell my neighbor. That's just as bad as his noise. So I will see you guys later. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. And I will see you all later. Bye. And like I said, you guys will know when that's uploaded. I'll let you know. Love ya.